Who wants to be the first lucky volunteer? Oh, Richard, you're not a wise person. Okay.
While you're still being gentle.
All right. So we're going to be going over today what I consider the fundamentals. All right. And there's no position more important to learn the Kimura than from side mount. Okay. Ron, could I have you just stand here just to make sure on the camera we're in frame there? All right. So you'll be lying on your back. Okay. Turn you sideways like this. There we go. You good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll demonstrate first, and then I'll break it down. Okay, so that is like the perfect Kimura. Very minimal motion, okay? He didn't move much, I didn't move much, but he can tell you it doesn't feel good at all right? So what's happening with this? First, I want to be in optimal position for the Kimura. Yeah, you guys might want to end up here. This will be the better spot for you. So I want to be high in the side mount, all right? And that means that this shoulder line right here, I want to control it using my chest. Boom. My knees are in tight, elbows are in tight, okay? And what this allows me is that if he pops his hips right now, I'll throw. Yep, nothing really happens to me. A lot of times people are here, yeah. A lot of space is created, he's unable to get his posts and frames. Alright, so I want to be nice, high up here. Next thing I want to do, I want to isolate a wrist and pin it to the mat. Okay? If I am able to pin a hand here, he's in a lot of problems. In my mind, he should already be done. This is a Kimura he's waiting to happen. Okay? And a good pin, when I first secure this wrist, I like to, when we're doing no-gi grips, I'm trying to get middle finger to thumb. A lot of people want to grab here, but you can notice these fingers aren't really activated when you're focused on this. When you go here, most of your fingers come into play, all right? And plus, that gives you a better chance to get what I call like a latch, where I can actually connect them and makes it a much stronger grip. And good grips require focus. So you have to put like mental effort into thinking about it. If I just have a grip passively without thinking about it, it's not going to be strong. It's like the more you focus on it, the stronger the grip gets. All right? So when I grip here, pin, I want to drive with the base of my palm and dig his hand into the mat. You try to move his hand out? No chance. No, not going anywhere. I know where it is now. This arm is going to come under, over, and I'm going to latch on to my own wrist here. All right? And once I decide to make this key lock here, my thumbs are going to come out. Boom. Okay? And this Kimura that I'm covering, there's 8 points. This is one of them. No thumbs in the grip. Okay? The second thing here, right now you see how I'm grabbing with the fingertips on the side of his forearm. If Richard just extends his arm, it could slip out. All right? So the second point here is I want to do what I call a motorcycle grip. Right here. Now he goes to punch his arm out. Won't be able to, okay? And what happens is when you initially grab it, you're here, right? Fingertips on the outside. That's like you're on the edge of a mountain and you're here on your fingertips. Not a good spot to be in, right? You'd rather have your hand over the top, okay? So when we do this motorcycle grip, what I'm doing, I'm rolling my knuckles to the mat, okay? But that's also getting my fingertips out of the way and getting my hand in. So rather than him trying to extend my fingers, now he has to punch through my hand. That's likely not going to happen, okay? So, again, I pin, boom, boom. No thumbs in the grip. I got my motorcycle grip. All right, those are the first 2 points. The next point here, all right, I want to keep his arm banked at a 90 at the least, all right, at a minimum. It doesn't have, if you can bend the arm all the way in, that's fine too. But at the very least, 90 degrees. If the arm is straight, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for you, okay? And so, like, if the arm's straight, I can still Kimura him, all right? If I'm here, it doesn't change how I apply the hold. The only problem is it's harder to control because he could swim his arm out of it right now and escape, okay? So the reason why we bend the arm is that it makes it harder for him to swim. Because if I have his arm at a 90, he can't swim his arm out, right? He has to first extend it, all right? The more you extend the arm, the more you contract the arm, the harder it is for him to roll out. But the reason why I like 90 is that you see how my elbow is really high right now. this is an escape opportunity for him also. All right? If he brings his leg inside my arm here, he can blast it out. Particularly with people who are very limber, they'll do that. So when you close your arm a lot like this, your elbow's going to tend to stick out. I like it 90 because I can drop my elbow to the mat. And that's my next point here. Okay? Because now there's no way he can get underneath. He could pop his hips up, he could do whatever he wants. All right? My elbow's not going to get exposed. Sometimes people are here and he pops his hips up, elbow comes out, boom, clear. Okay, so I want my elbow on the mat. 90 degrees on his arm, no thumbs, motorcycle grip. All right. Next point here, my elbow wants to come towards his elbow. Okay, so I'm coming here and up. Okay, reason why is that I want to create torque in the shoulder by rotating here at the elbow. Okay, and this is going to transfer to here. He can tell you there's a difference between me being like this versus me being there, right? Yeah. So again, I want my elbow to come towards his elbow. Next point, all right, is that when I have his arm here, if you watch his shoulder right now, this is where it's at, right? When I bend his arm into an L, you can see it comes up a little bit more. If I move his elbow up here, you see how his hand came off the mat? That's because if I do this, it's a tap. Okay, the shoulder gets compromised when you start bringing the elbow towards his ear. Okay, and that's even without rotating the shoulder. So we could take advantage of that when we do a Kimura. When I get here, before I even start cranking it, I'm just going to bring the elbow up instead of tapping. Okay, and this is a very good trick, especially if you're fighting someone big and you don't want to risk lifting them up or trying to step over. You just pull the elbow up, and now we'll get at the top. Okay, so that's yet another trick that we have here. All right, so far, 1, no thumbs. 2, motorcycle grip. 3, my elbow on the mat. 4, his arm at 90 degrees. 5, bringing my elbow towards his elbow. 6, bringing his elbow towards his ear. 7, my chest is going to drop into his shoulder. And then this is yet another way you can tap somebody out with a Kimura. I'm here. Boom. Okay? Just by putting pressure on his shoulder. Because you see, whenever you're doing a Kimura, this shoulder wants to come up to compensate. I start doing this, here, it comes up. Because that allows it to relieve the pressure. So when you have the Kimura very tight in this alternate position, you can see right here, look at this. It's coming up. So if I force it down, it sucks a lot for him, okay? So we can get that push going just by placing my center of my chest right on top of the shoulder, okay? So I'm here, I got everything nice and tight. Right? The final thing here, point number 8, is just once I have everything else in place, I just lift up my elbow. Oh. Okay. So that's the goal, economy of motion. I'm barely moving, which means I'm not sacrificing my position. Okay, when you see people coming and doing a Kimura and they're like this, like, and the guy's coming up, that's no good. He's relieving a lot of pressure by being able to sit up. Okay? And again, a lot of people compensate for that by stepping up big and then coming up here. But now there's a lot of space. There's time the guy can turtle. All right? So your ideal Kimura is the guy's flat on the mat. Nothing barely happens. And from the outside of you, it's like, why is it happening? All right? That's what you want, because it's like your technique is so perfect that there's barely any motion required. I'm here. No. And you might be looking at the outside, oh, this is a bunch of crap. But from Mitch's position, it's like, God, please stop. Right? So that's why I tell you, like, I'm going to be rotating partners the whole time and then rotating shoulders. Because you're going to see after a while, this is like, oh man, this is brutal. Right? So those are the 8 points. No thumbs, motorcycle grip, arm at least at a 90. Okay? Your elbow on the mat. You're going to bring your elbow to his elbow. his elbow to his ear, shoulder pressure with your chest, and then elevating his elbow. All right? It's a lot of stuff there, so don't worry if you forget them. I'm going to walk around, make sure we're going to spend a good amount of time on this, because once you have this, everything else becomes very easy as you understand how to apply the Kimura perfectly. Any questions? All right, so let's go with our partners. And again, go like 3 each, just keep rotating. Once you feel you got one side good, try the other side and get that going. All right, let's do it on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.